Hello, this is Stephanie Washer, and I'm going to go through 2-4. So this is Word Module 2 in the CIS 102 Introduction to Computers course through Cengage MindTap. So it's at the CIS 102 at RVC. And so we're going to talk about 2-4, which is typing the research paper text. There's a lot in this. And we going through the introduction, body and conclusion, evaluating sources. So you want to look at your sources and think, is this reputable? Should I be citing this? Is this information that doesn't have bias? Are their authors credible and listed as verified? I've been going through all of, and currency and accuracy. I've been doing a research project now, and it's probably been going on 4 years. And I need to gather information in the last 5 years, but really it should be in the last 2 years, because if we think about it, 5 years ago was before the pandemic, and now things have greatly changed, especially in cybersecurity, which is what my project is on. And so currency is very, very important. And then accuracy, obviously. So you want to go through and make sure that there's no errors in your sources. And so when you evaluate your sources, you want to make sure, is it reputable? Is it without bias? Is the author credible? Do they contradict themselves a lot? Like just random people in videos or on random sites, it's not going to work. So you want to make sure that it's credible, that it has a current value to today, and that it's accurate. And so you do not want to plagiarize. You don't want to plagiarize, and you don't want to use ChatGPT or AI. You want it to sound like you. I have used ChatGPT to help me find sources, because I feel like it's been better at finding sources than even just Google. So I have used it to help me find sources, but I write all of my own stuff. I don't want to take any chances, because people know when you're using ChatGPT. I mean, we all know. There's one of my friends that we work with, and they're all from different schools across the U.S., and we just kind of tease him, because it's like every single time we're like, oh yeah, we know that you use ChatGPT. We can tell every single time, which to us is no big deal. It's like, if you don't like writing an email and you use ChatGPT, and maybe that's just a little much. So we like to make fun of him for it. Okay. So when you summarize or paraphrase, you need to write everything in your own words. And so you need to make sure that you are using your own words. All right, we're going to enter the name of the course. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow this. And I'm just going to use my name. We got Stephanie Washer. And then we're going to type in, I'm going to use, let's use Mrs. Kunkel. Actually, I just texted Matt Oakes. So Mr. Oakes, actually, it's not Mr., it's Dr. That is a huge mistake. Dr. Oakes, because I just texted him asking him about MLA format and what Rock Valley College uses the most, and it is MLA. And he teaches English 103. If you haven't had him, he's a great English instructor at Rock Valley. And then today's date. I actually like to do insert. Let's see if it'll work for me. Insert. And then, well, let's just type in date. So we've got insert date and time. And so I can click on insert, and we want it to be like this. And we can have it update automatically. So I'm going to have just today's date, update automatically, and add it in there. And then I'm going to hit enter. So I'm going to be on a new line. Let's see what MLA format. MLA style prefers day, month, year, or month, day, year. So you can use either one of those depending on, where you live and your preference. Okay, so now we're going to click and type. So we got to double click a blank area. So click and type, we can double click and we can type wherever we want. So we can actually choose different things that way. I don't know. So you can move it, you can position it where you want it to be. We really just want it to be centered. So I'm going to go to home, paragraph, center. So I'm just going to make sure it's centered. that click, the double click and type thing is kind of nice. And so this one's going to be, oops, let's click health concerns of using technology. Yeah, there we go. So then when you hit enter, it goes on to the next line. And we've got all these keyboard shortcuts. So these are all shortcuts that I've given before. You can use them as you go, and you can take a look at them in the formatting the paragraphs. Again, remember I showed you earlier, if you want to know, if you don't have this in front of you, you can highlight the item and see the quick format in parentheses. So it'll show you that. And I know, so it says here, see, it's a copyright 2015 Cengage Learning. They keep using their same, those shortcuts have not changed in 20 years. So that's fine that those are older. That's not information that has changed ever. And so you can use the keyboard shortcuts, whatever you want to use. It's fine by me. I'm all about what is easiest for you and what you remember, because really, this isn't, we don't want to make this harder than it is, right? Display the ruler. I love displaying the ruler. Most of the time it's not on by default. You're going to go to view, view, and then we can show the ruler, grid lines, and we can show the navigation page. The grid lines look terrible. I like the navigation page when you start using headers and footers. I still have my, like everybody cares about this anymore, but this is the one where you go to view navigation page. And this is where you can see the different sections. And here's where the headings start. Here's just my table of contents. That's all there is to it. And you can see how annoying, once we get into the bulk of things, how annoying all of these paragraph formats are. So I really only use that paragraph formatting marks when I need them. So then, but then I can click on, here's the introduction, here's my capstone topic, here's the purpose. This one's an older one, so it looks like some things are out of order, but and then we got our summary, our introduction, but what I really like is the references. So you can go down, if I have to find, so I had to find some newer references, because I had some from like 2018 and I wanted to update them. So I could go in from references, I can go up in my, say I was here in my introduction, and if I change this to, I don't know, some other like Madison 2023 instead of Morgan, I can change that. I can go to my references very quickly and find all of my M's and I can change Morgan out for Madison or whatever. And so, and I can see very quickly who I have and what I have. See, and I still have some of these that are from 2018, but that's a qualitative data analysis, so it was not too bad. So, I know that was a lot, but that's, displaying that navigation page does get very nice. It's really helpful. So I always have the ruler shown. I love it. It looks great to me. I'm used to it. It shows me my margins. It shows me where I'm at. You can see here I've got where we've got things set up. It's just one of the things that I really like. Okay, so first line indent. We are now on this part, and I want to make sure that this is my first line indent marker. And there's two triangles that make up that marker, and you can move them how you wish, or you can have them set up. So right now they're just sitting there, and we're going to actually set up the first line indent. And for MLA format, first line indent is a 1/2 inch. So this is why you like the rulers. And to set up first line indent, we set up the top, because we want it to indent first, and we set the top triangle up to 1/2 inch. And it should tell us that we're at 1/2 inch. It doesn't exactly, but let me click off of it, and and get back in. But what we can do is we can right click. Actually, we can go to home to double check. Paragraph, our line spacing options. We got first line indent at 1/2 inch. So you can double check and make sure. So we have first line indent at 1/2 inch. So that is exactly the way it's supposed to be set up. And then I always like to save. So I'm going to do, so auto save is off because I haven't saved it. So I'm going to click on save. And then I'm going to call this Washer CIS 102 test research paper. And I'm just going to go ahead and save it to my documents. Save. And then notice all of a sudden it goes to on. So I'm going to show you probably how to save again later, but I think that's too late. Like once I'm done starting to do all this stuff, I do not want my computer to shut off or something to happen. I've had too many electrical issues lately that I don't want anything to happen to it, right? So once it gets really frustrating. So, all right, now I'm going to end up typing some things, and I'm going to type a little bit, and then I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to get the rest of that stuff typed in. So I'm going to type in the widespread. So you can see it's just going to use of technology to, oh. Okay, so all right, so we ended up, I am going to get rid of this paragraph formatting. I'll add it, I'll put it back in later, but I just feel like it's distracting to me. So we've got the widespread use of technology has led to some important user concerns. 2 of the more common physical health concerns are repetitive strain injuries. And I'm told all the time that I type too much and my hands are, that's one of the problems. And then hearing loss. So I don't have hearing loss because I don't wear earbuds all the time. And so if I were to, so we started here, I'm here at this insertion point and I have my 1-inch margin, I'm set up. And then if I make so if I were to type in TEH instead, so the will automatically correct if you mistype it. I'm going to hit backspace, get rid of that. So it'll autocorrect as you type, and you can set up autocorrect in different ways. So you can have that. I'm actually going to copy and paste in here. Oops. After I said don't do that, but for purposes of time, I am going to do the format painter because it'll be a perfect opportunity to show you that. And notice that I copied in the spelled incorrectly and it automatically changed it for me. So that's pretty nice. I really appreciate that. And then, I mean, I don't have any other autocorrect with that one. I don't have any other corrections, but we can set up autocorrect. So if we go to File, it's on automatic save. So I'm going to go to File, Options, I believe. There we go. So File Options, we get a whole bunch of different things. We've got our general display, and proofing is where all of the autocorrect options are. So if I click on autocorrect options, you can see if we do a C in parentheses, that's going to give us the copyright symbol, and then all sorts of things. We've got the TM in small scripts, and then we've got, you know, many different things that we can add in there. And all of these ones that you can even add, if you want to have your own, replace this text with that, you can add that in there too. So there's a whole bunch of different things. So we can correct 2 initial capitals, capitalize the first letter of a sentence. Sometimes this gets to be too much for me. Like maybe there's certain things I don't want capitalized because it'll capitalize the first letter of a sentence even if you have bullets next to it. So that's one of them that Sometimes I turn off, but, and then there's math autocorrect, auto format as you type. There's certain things. There's the different actions here. And we've got all of our auto formatting too. So the autocorrect as you type, there's so many different things that you can do. So you're going to add it if you want to add something. And then, oh, I'm going to type in COMPUTER. Yeah, sometimes I think you saw me mistype it earlier. COMPUTER. And then we can add that one. You always want to make sure that you add it and that it's correct. And then we'll click OK. And then we'll click OK again. There's other things in here and you can look through it. Here's your quick access toolbar. You can set that up too. You can change it. There's general and settings as well. So that was the quick of that one. And 2 more OKs got us out of there. So we've got the autocorrect dialog box. So if you want to actually have autocorrect box, you can set that up as well. I talked about the 2 capital rows in a row, 2 capitals in a row. Talked about that. Enter more text. I am actually going to add this. So this is our first paragraph. Now we're going to go to a new paragraph. I am actually going to copy this. I'm getting used to this new mouse and it's starting to I try and do right click and that's the part that sets it off. But if I just highlight and copy and paste, and I'm going to keep doing this formatting. There we go. And so we're adding more information into it. And so we added this in there. The first line obviously is same, is indented. This is the text we entered. I'm going to leave. There's no period after that, and I'm going to leave that because it might change. And so see the double underline? We need to add a period to that, and it wants to do that. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go through citations. So MLA and APA both use citations, and it has different styles that it's going to work through. So it uses the parenthetical in text citation. So it's placed at the end of a sentence. So we're going to add in, we might actually change the documentation style. We'll insert a citation placeholder and then we're going to enter source information. So we're going to kind of go through the citations individually. So to change the bibliography style, there is an actual references ribbon, which is really nice. So right now it's set for APA. We want to change that to MLA. APA's 6th edition is old. It should be 7th edition now. So just so you know, you always want to search for the most current and make sure you have the most current. So MLA 7th edition is the one we selected for our style. And so when we do any type of citation, if it's a book, if it's a magazine, if it's a website, it tells you what you need. So we need the full name of the author, we need the complete book title, we need if there is an edition or a volume or a publication city, name, publication year, publication medium. So whether it's, online or in print. And then magazines, same thing, and then websites. So sometimes, if we got a magazine journal article that is a part of a website, so there could be different things like that, which is why it is great to use the MLA format and go to citations for the MLA. So we've got all sorts of different citations. We've got videos even. And so you've got your in-text citations, and it goes through that because, there's so many different things. I use the Purdue OWL for APA sometimes because I need to know, if this came from a website and it's a legit website, how am I going to cite this? The other thing I use is I have a free service. I've actually paid for it, but I have Zotero that I use instead of the actual references within here. And that Zotero cites everything for me. It's actually pretty great. Okay, so to insert a citation for a new source. So we're inserting a citation, but it's a new source. We have to add a new source. And so when we click on it, that new source, the create source dialog box comes up. I think we're going to leave it as book, and then we have to put all of this information in. And so type of source, well, maybe we are going to change it to article. We're going to change it to article in a periodical. Our author is Zoe. Oops, spelled it wrong. And then as the author. And then we're going to do, the title is Technology, Aches and Pains. And we're going to do monthly medical and review periodical. I'm just going to copy and paste now. And then the year is 2021. I think yeah. 21. July. I'm not going to worry about day. You can hit tab to go to the different things. It has the number of pages. So we've got press tab twice, then type n dot space PAG or PG as the number of pages, and then the medium is web. Okay, so let's double check this. Article periodical. Da, 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 da. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then, so show all bibliography fields. So we're going to check that. And then it stars everything that we have to have. So it stars everything as recommended. We've got 2021 as the year, October. Oh, let's do first. I don't know. I thought they said July above. Let's double check that. Yeah. There's a check mark and show all bibliography. So we need to change it to October, Devon. October 1st. So we got 2021, October 1st. Oh, we're creating a different source? I don't know why it did that to us. Oh, okay, all right. So let's do July. And I'm gonna click OK. And then it automatically puts it in. So it should, we need to, where I had it was probably not in the best spot. And then it needs to have a period afterwards, so I need to make sure I have a period in there. But we still have this where I can change if I add more, so I can edit the citation, edit the source, convert the source, and update the citations all here. I can update them all there. So we're going to enter more text. So we're going to enter more text right directly after this. So I'm going to copy this in. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to copy and paste it in, and then if I go home and I click paste, but I do keep source formatting, I don't have to use this paint anymore. So we've got that. And I'm blinking here, so that's my insertion point. And then we can create footnotes. So we'll create footnotes here. We're going to add a note. And a footnote is located at the bottom of the page, and very similarly to that, the end note provides additional information. So we can add a note text, and we can have footnotes and end notes. That can be any length, so we can set that up. And so MLA format has footnotes and end notes. That's why we have a header and not a footer. in APA format, I have footers. All right, so inserting a footnote. So repetitive strain injuries, I'm going to be at the end of that line, and I'm going to insert that. So I'm going to make sure my insertion point is right where it needs to be. And then I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to insert a footnote. So that's header footer, so that's different. Header footer is different than an actual footnote. And I'm going to make it bigger. But I'm going to go to references and then insert footmark, I believe. There it is. So I'm going to go to references. I always go to insert first and then, make that mistake and then realize, oh geez. But if I'm doing a big paper, Alt, Control, and F. Let's try it. Alt, Control, and F automatically does your footnote for you. So notice, I could click insert footnote, but it already is there. We don't need to add another one. So can I do undo twice? There we go. So I already had added that one. So Alt Control F worked really great. So if you're on a roll and you don't want to switch to the mouse, you can do Alt Control F. And so now I've got my one here and then a one there, and I can add in my footnote that I want to add. And I want to add in according to, we're going to copy this. So this all needs to be in your words. So you're typing all of this stuff. The only reason I'm copying and pasting it here is because of time. If this was an actual, and I chose keep source formatting, so we're adding an actual footnote to the citation, and this should actually have a period at the end. And it's telling me it doesn't like the period, it not having a period. So, all right. And then we're going to insert a citation placeholder. So we're going to do that as well. So we added the insert, we have this citation, and now we need to actually set a placeholder. So what we're going to do is we inserted a citation, its source at once. In Word, you can insert a citation without entering the source information. Why? Because sometimes you need to do that, and then you can just do a placeholder. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to click the, let's see, figure 237. I think we got to go back one so that I can see. Figure 237. So here's 237, and my insertion point is right here. And so I'm going to leave that insertion point. I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm going to learn not to make changes as we go. And so I'm going to go to references. And then I'm going to make sure I have to do add new placeholder. Let's make insert citation, add new placeholder. So insert citation up here, you gotta click on the arrow, add new placeholder. We're gonna call this Clark. And click OK. So what it's gonna do is it added Clark in parentheses, and it's just a placeholder, so it is not done. So I always just add an extra little note, and I write down Clark, and then I go back and make sure that I check it out, because I can do Control F and find Clark in the whole thing. So we've got footnote text style. So when you insert a footnote, the Word formats it using the footnote text style that does not adhere to MLA. So we have to make sure that we set that style format. So you would change the paragraph formatting in the footnote text to first line indent, double space, then change the font size from 10 to 12. So we're going to do that exactly in the next one. So we're going to modify a style using the shortcut menu. So we're going to right-click the note. Right-click the note text. And then we're going to go to style. And we got footnote text style. And right now it's Times New Roman 10 point. but we're going to double check and make sure. So we are going to change it to, we're going to modify, and then we're going to go, we got Times New Roman, we're going to change to 12. Let's change it, 12. And we got format button, paragraph, and we want first line indent to be 0.5. That's what we want. And then we're going to click OK, and we're going to click OK again, and then we're going to apply this, and notice it did the first line indent. So now it's oh, I forgot double spaced. So we're going to have to right click, and we're going to have to go to Style, Modify, and we need to do, this is footnote text. We got to go to Format, Paragraph, and I forgot to do double spacing. So click OK and OK again and apply. There we go. There's our double spacing. So there's our footnote with all the correct styles. And then if we want to edit a source, so we have Clark and we want to edit this source, right? And so we just click on Clark, there's an arrow down, and we can click on Edit Source. And what we're going to do is, this is a book. We need to change this to book. And then we need to, the author is Clark. Oops. I'm going to click Edit and make it, so we've got, last name is Clark. We'll add it. Okay. And then notice if you have multiple authors, you can keep adding them. So that's really nice. And then we're going to add more to, oh, we got another one. I'm sorry. We have Clark and we have Nadir. So let's go in and do, it's so tiny. All right, excellent. And we're going to add, and we want to make sure, right now we're there in alphabetical order. I believe we're going to leave them in that way. All right, so we're going to leave them, and that's it. We just want 2, so we're going to click OK, and it'll put them both in here for us. The title is Repetitive Strain Injuries 2021. Let's see what the city is. Boston. And then Lighthouse Publishing. And it is print. Okay, so that's it, and we click OK. And so now it's Clark and Nadir. So now we have that set. If we want to edit our citation, we can go in our MLA format and we can edit it. So click somewhere in the citation. So we can click the citation and we can edit the citation. We can add our pages. We're going to add 65 to 66. And so we're going to add that and we're going to click OK. Because we also want the author. So we want the author and the pages. So click author, click title. Okay, we can add. And then we added those pages. So click OK. And those were just to suppress. I really don't want to suppress the author, but we are just going to leave that 65 to 66. The author names are removed. But, you know, I do APA style, so I would not be removing the author name. Okay, working with footnotes and endnotes. So you can delete endnotes, so you can edit, delete them, you can cut and paste, you can do all sorts of different things and move them around. So there are different things that you can do this. So we're going to enter more text into the document here, and we're going to have a new paragraph. I'm going to enter this text in real quick, and we're going to paste it with this formatting. And then what we're going to do, oh, and we can actually do a word count too here. So we've got our first page of our research paper, right? So we entered more text. Let's see, we can see we've got 231 words at the bottom. We can actually highlight certain sections, and I'm just going to type in word count in the search, and it'll tell you I have one page, 217 words are highlighted, characters, no spaces, characters with spaces, paragraphs, and lines. So, and oh, I'm going to click off of it. I'm going to go back into word count. Sometimes the word count should not include text boxes, footnotes, and endnotes. So that's a different number than our total of 231 words. If we exclude our text boxes, footnotes, and endnotes, then it's only 208 words. So that's a good thing to have there that you can go through. So word count. Control-Shift-G, that's a good one to know, is word count. It helps when I'm on the Control-Shift-G. Here's word count. So those are the statistics. Automatic page break, this is something good to know. So if you want to add in a little page break in between, it's just control. The soft page break is when you just keep typing and it automatically breaks that page for you. So I'm going to put this where does it want me to put this? Type the rest of the third paragraph. Okay, so this is the rest of the third paragraph. So I'm going to add it. Oops. I'm going to put it in with that. So then we've got this in there, and it goes on to our second page. And you can see that now it's page 2. And we are going to go, okay, so we added that in there, and the text moved down, and we're going to insert citation to display the insert, and we're going to add a new placeholder. And so that placeholder is going to be here at the end. And so we are going to references, insert citation, add a placeholder, right? And we're going to type in Sanchez. Click OK. And then we've got a period at the end, so we got that correct. And then we're going to hide and show white space. Position of the part of the document window and the white pages. Okay, so we've got the white pages in between. So we can show this if I did home, the paragraph mark. We can see the all of this information, right? And so if we double click, in between, and then we can add or show white space. So you just double click in the gray spot. I never use this, you can tell. So it is nice not to have all of the different white space, but I kind of like just showing because I want to see if my header's working. That is my thing with that. So, and I'm going to leave it there. The other thing is if you want to add I'm going to wait and see. If you want to add, so like say you want here, you want your page, you can do Control Enter and it will automatically add a page break for you. But I'm going to, nope, that's delete. I'm going to backspace to where I was. And leave it back where it was. And then we can edit a source. So we're going to edit the Sanchez probably. And so we're going to go back to edit source. And I'm going to add in, I'm going to pause and edit. Okay, so now I have all the information in. and I can click OK. So I've got all of the correct information, and you want the when you accessed the website, because it's not gonna, unless there's like a day and time when they have that set up. We can enter more text, and so at the end of this we're going to enter more text. And we're going to happen to hit enter, and I'm going to paste it in. And we're going to go through the formatting stuff later. And we're going to create the alphabetical cited works later. So we have all of this that we entered in, and we're going to create alphabetic works cited, proofing and revising, and working with comments later. So I'm going to hit save. I always like to save to double check it. But that was 2-4. That's a lot. Typing in the research paper in text is a lot of information, but it's a lot of good info. So we are going to stop there, and there'll be another video on works cited, proofing and revising, and working with comments.